another edition of The Naked Truth. My name is John Singletary.
And I am Ramon Roan.
Today we're going to do a short segment. Topic of discussion is the Judicial Freedom Riders, an organization that was born out of a
Travesty of justice.
Travesty of justice is exactly what it was. And so tell me why in the world would anyone start an organization that deals with the all-powerful, untouchable judicial system in trying to get judges to do what they're supposed to do?
Because the organizations that are around are not doing nothing about it, or very little about it. That's my opinion. Okay.
Explain yourself.
Okay, now, I'm not going to call any names because you're asking me not to. Okay? See, John sometimes have to put the reins on me because I can go off the reservation every now and then. Okay, so I'm not calling out any organizations. However, there is a lack of blacks that are minorities that are on the bench. 90% of those judges are white, and I learned that from Bruce Wright, a Superior Court judge in New York. Where he talked about the lack of representation, black representation, and the amount of racism that is on the bench in his book entitled Black Robe, White Justice. Mm-hmm. That's the kind of justice that we're getting. But we don't have...
That's the kind you've always been getting and you haven't been complaining?
Well, John, I have been complaining. Well, first of all, I didn't know. I didn't know. I thought as a veteran of these United States Navy,
we had everybody in check. All of a sudden, here it is, you come along, and now all of a sudden, you want to cause trouble and make waves.
John, I was on the waves, okay? I was on the waves. But I thought that through the history of this country, African Americans fought to defend the Constitution of the United States. And they come back after World War II.
Foreign and domestic.
Foreign and domestic enemies. They come after World War II and had to fight again so that they can get those rights. They're fighting the same people that they were defending to get those rights.
Well, you talk quite passionately about it, and I guess because of the personal experience. And, you know, like you were saying, the reason why the Judicial Freedom Riders is here is because a travesty of justice in which the selling of the United States Constitution to African Americans, by and large, has been a pig in a blanket. Been a pig in a blanket. And so, as a result, you're not sure what you're getting. And unfortunately, what we have gotten is less than justice. And so, for some people, when they're done wrong, they go into a shell. They say that, well, nothing we can do about it. We're just going to wait on the Lord. Nothing wrong with praying. We pray every day for success. But for others, it makes you an activist. When I know I'm doing the right thing, and I've got faith, and my faith means that I can't cower down. It means that I can't simply run into a shell and say that, well, Lord, you take care of it. When He's put me here to stand up for justice, then I have no choice but to move forward. I have no choice but to become an activist. And so I then have to speak out against, I have to educate myself in that arena so that I'm able to better explain myself and to better understand when I'm being taken advantage of. I'm better able to then be able to submit documents to the court system, to even sit down and explain to my attorney what is happening to me, why I feel it's happening, and what rights I see are being violated. All those things are important. We have to be able to start the ball rolling, and we want you to join us. www.jfrinc.org, $36 a year. This is a new organization. We're innovative, we're radical in that the things that we do will be not only legal, but they will make great strides in the realm of due process, equal protection, justice, the rule of law for all Americans, particularly those who have been in the past consistently and customarily taken advantage of. African Americans, Latinos, and in some cases, the lower socioeconomic Caucasians who have been disenfranchised oftentimes as much as we have. And so if we're going to be here in America, then one of the things that we have to do is we have to demand, stand up for, and be committed to receiving equality based upon the Constitution.
Before you close out, John, I have to give this testimony, okay? I thought that as an American citizen, not just a black American or African American, as an American citizen, that when I entered into that courtroom, that whatever the law says and I am obeying the law, or the defendant is breaking the law, that I would win. If my evidence is more weightier than his evidence, I win.
But what if you never get to put your evidence on?
What? Exactly.
Pre-trial adjudication.
Exactly. So so that's what's happening. Your constitutional right.
All evidence in the world is no good.
It's no good
if you can't put it in.
You can't put it in. If you don't have a jury, why in the world it takes 15 years to get a jury trial? So we had to start this organization because no one was doing anything about it.
And
John, we went to many organizations. Am I right? We spoken to president. Wait a minute.
I went to just about every civil rights organization you could find.
We went to also politicians.
Oh yeah.
And then we could not get it, so we had to form our own organization, and we need your support. We need your support. We can't do it. John and I can't do it by ourselves. We're gonna fight, whether you join or not. We're not stopping.
Let me tell you one unique, very unique characteristic of this organization is that we are full of commitment. We will accept absolutely no donations from corporate America.
No.
Not that we are anti-philanthropic. We believe that corporate America should give. But they're certainly not going to give through the Judicial Freedom Riders and get two birds with one stone. They're not going to get the accolades for giving to the public through us, and at the same time tie our hands such that if they allow us to skim a little bit off, then what happens is we have to be hush-hush with the wrongdoing that they do. That's why we don't want any money from corporate America. This is solely by the people, for the people, to protect the people. And so if corporate America wants to give, we can either recommend someone to you, but don't send your money this way. We want to be supported by the people, so we will always have the freedom to say what is in the best interest of the people, and that we will also be able to maintain the trust that they put in us. Because from now until, we're freedom riders who will fight for justice.
John, in closing, I gotta ask, many may be asking this question, John, but you know how I go. All right, I'm gonna ask the question: will we be giving out lifetime achievement awards? Will we be giving out employer of the year awards? The answer is no, because we're not taking their money.
No.
All right.
We don't give out. Now, what we may give out is the Judge Taney Award.
The Judge Taney Award.
The Judge Taney Award.
Right.
We may give that one out. But in terms of awarding someone for doing their job, it is nice to recognize people when they go over and beyond, above and beyond,
right,
what, as you would recognize, their call of duty.
Right.
But to continually award people for doing their job, or to award people because they've allowed money to come through us to go to other people, absolutely not. You know, there's no, if that takes away from us continually having success and accomplishing our mission, because that's time that we could spend working.
So we won't have no dog on Sterlings.
Absolutely not.
Okay, all right then.
No, we may have Donald Sterling's in the sense that there are continually people who make racist comments.
Okay, all right. But we're talking about giving lifetime achievement awards.
Absolutely not.
You can't buy an award with judicial freedom rights. And that's all I got to say. This has been another episode of The Naked Truth.